New set photos from Angel Manuel Soto's DCEU film Blue Beetle. Filming is underway for Angel Manuel Soto's Blue Beetle, starring Colo Marijuana as Jamie Reyes aka Blue Beetle, the first Latino superhero to have his own movie. Although the production is still in its early stages, Blue Beetle already promises to be a memorable addition to the DCEU and hopefully an educational experience for those who may not be entirely familiar with Blue Beetle's origin story. In DC Comics animated history, several incarnations of the Blue Beetle appear on Batman. The Brave and the Bold, and namely the Ted Kord version, appears in cameo voice roles. Not much is known about the Blue Beetle solo film besides its cast and crew. The finer details have been kept under wraps for the time being, but we do know that Gareth Dunnett Alcocer will be serving as screenwriter and Angel Manuel Soto is taking charge as director. Additionally, Bruna Marquand and Belissa Escobedo were respectively cast as the protagonists' love interest Penny and younger sister Milagros. Colo Marijuana is best known for portraying Miguel Diaz in the Netflix series Cobra Kai. He will be joined by Susan Sarandon as Victoria Cord, the central antagonist against Marijuana's Beetle, and Raul Max Trujillo as Conrad Carapax, Carapax the Indestructible Man, another supervillain and presumably an associate of Sarandon's Cord. An independent news outlet, DCEU News on Twitter, has uploaded photos of a bus split in half in Atlanta, Georgia. Many questions have been raised as to why filming hasn't taken place in Texas, where Reyes is originally from, but we can chalk that oversight up to lack of availability or some other prohibiting factor. Although it may appear that the bus has been destroyed with force, one well-informed commenter mentioned that it wasn't in fact brute force, essentially special effects, that divided the bus, but rather an intentional move on behalf of the filmmakers. Rather, it could simply be a scene filmed on a bus that required an easy access for the cameraman and sound operators, who would otherwise be cramped on the opposite seats or in the aisle. Either way, it looks pretty impressive. There have been many different takes on Blue Beetle's story, including Reyes ingesting certain vitamins that provide superpowers, whereas other retelling have implemented an ancient artifact, a scarab, that attaches itself to his spine and grants him the ability to generate highly durable armor. It seems that the Blue Beetle film will take the latter route, which is the more traditional origin for Reyes. Right now, the synopsis is fairly brief. It reads, a Mexican teenager finds an alien beetle that gives him superpowered armor. According to IMDb, Blue Beetle is scheduled for release on August 18, 2023, but this has yet to be confirmed. Either way, we shouldn't expect to see Reyes until mid-2023 at the earliest. These dates are always subject to change, especially at such uncertain times. The Martha Mitchell Effect trailer reveals one woman's gaslighting. Netflix is exploring the life and lasting impact of the always bombastic Martha Mitchell in their latest documentary The Martha Mitchell Effect. A new trailer is out, which teases how the mouth of the South drew the ire of the Nixon administration and faced extreme gaslighting and slander in her efforts to take down the president in the wake of the Watergate scandal. The short made the rounds during Sundance's virtual festival this year to strong reviews, and now it's coming to the streamer on June 17th. The trailer shows the rise and fall of a woman who was once the talk of the town in D.C. Mitchell, the wife of U.S. Attorney General John Mitchell, began her time in Washington as a political gossip, making the rounds on talk shows to spread the word about what she'd overheard from her husband and his colleagues. Then President Richard Nixon wasn't a fan, preferring to keep everything close to his chest. Tensions didn't come to head though until Watergate rocked America. Mitchell, unwilling to stay quiet on such a blatant show of corruption, vehemently spoke out against Nixon, becoming the first person to call for his resignation. In response, the White House did everything to silence her, accosting her, abusing her, and publicly slamming her as mentally ill. At one point, she was even fearful she would be killed. When it was uncovered that Nixon was indeed involved in the scandal, Mitchell instead became vindicated and was hailed as a visionary, though she was ultimately forgotten by many. Moreover, she became the face and the name behind the titular Martha Mitchell Effect, a case in which someone is wrongly attributed with a mental illness when speaking about true events. The doc recounts her tragic tale in her own words and once again shines a light on the woman who, at least in the eyes of Tricky Dick himself, brought down the corrupt Nixon administration. The Martha Mitchell effect hails from Anne Elverg and Deborah McClutchy, the latter of whom made her directorial debut. Elverg has mostly stayed on the side of film editing, working on Bully, Coward, Victim, The Story of Roy Con and Love, Gilda, though she also helmed the 2000 documentary Short Nightlight. McClutchy, meanwhile, has mostly been featured as a producer or crew member, with her latest work being for The Booksellers and A Body of Language. The Martha Mitchell Effect releases on Netflix on June 17th. Vengeance trailer reveals the all-star cast for B.J. Novak. On July 29th, Vengeance has a name, and it's B.J. Novak. That's right, Novak, who is widely known as one of the writers, executive producers, directors, and stars of NBC's slam dunk sitcom, The Office, is starring in a new film about murder and mayhem. As the release date for the upcoming film approaches, a new trailer has been released to ramp up the anticipation. The trailer released for the feature reveals what we can expect from a film that also stars the talented likes of Issa Rae, Ashton Kutcher, Boyd Holbrook, J. Smith Cameron, and Duff Cameron. The newly released clip introduces viewers to a journalist and podcaster from New York City, Ben Manalowitz, Novak, who travels to Texas to attend the funeral of a woman he was briefly hooking up with named Abilene. While there, Ben realizes that Abilene's family thinks her ties to him were more serious than casual. The trailer, itself, is not without twists. Initially thought to have died of a drug overdose, Ben is told that Abilene was, in fact, murdered and immediately gets roped into a vengeance plan. However, Ben isn't just going to go along with a guns-a-blazing high-stakes search. He, instead, flips the script and turns the case into a podcast. With no leads or reasons to believe Abilene's death was a murder, Ben is hesitant to take on the task at hand, but soon learns that maybe this is a cover-up case after all. As he immerses himself in the town in an attempt to better fit in, Ben begins to untangle a sordid web of lies and intrigue, leading him down the path to find out the truth about Abilene's death. It should come as a surprise to no one that, along with starring responsibilities, Novak also served as a director for the flick, which he wrote. King of Scares, Jason Blum, is on board as a producer alongside Adam Hendricks and Greg Gilreath. While the film deals with a grisly slaying, Novak does not completely abandon the comedic stories that he's known for. The feature is being billed as a darkly comic thriller that combines Novak's wonderful silliness with a more chill-inducing subject matter. With a cast of wacky characters played by some of the best in the business, paired with Novak's impeccable writing and ability to blend two genres, Vengeance looks like it'll pack a comedic punch while keeping audiences on the edge of their seats. Vengeance lands in theaters on July 29th. The Bricklayer first images released as Screen Media acquires the Aaron Eckhart. Rennie Harlin's cliffhanger, Die Hard 2, High Octane, Aaron Eckhart-led The Dark Knight, Olympus Has Fallen, action thriller The Bricklayer has found a new home with Screen Media. The chicken soup for the Soul Entertainment Company acquired the North American rights to the Millennium Media-produced film and slated it for a summer 2023 release both in theaters and on VOD. The film's first images were released with the acquisition, giving a taste of the action to come in the anticipated pair-up of action staples Harlin and Eckhart. The Bricklayer is based on the novel by Noah Boyd and has the CIA in hot water. An unknown force is blackmailing the agency, placing the blame for a number of foreign journalist assassinations right at their feet. With the U.S. now becoming this tyrannical, brutal regime in the eyes of the international community, the CIA calls on Eckhart's character, a former operative with a rebellious streak yet elite skill, to return to the agency to help clear its name and find who's responsible for this conspiracy. In the process, he'll also confront his shady past with the agency and the consequences of his previous actions. There's not much to go off of with the new images, but they do spotlight Eckhart and his co-star Nina Dobrev, The Vampire Diaries, Let's Be Cops. Despite the sensitive nature of the mission, it looks like Eckhart won't be afraid to go loud for this film, even in the middle of a crowd in broad daylight. Eckhart and Dobrev will star alongside a pair of Nightmare Alley alums in Clifton Collins Jr., Westworld, Jockey, and Tim Blake Nelson, Naked Singularity, as well as Baywatch and Billion star Ulfinish Hadira. Joining the action veteran Harlin are writers Matt Johnson, Into the Blue, and Hannah Weg, Septembers of Shiraz, with Robert Van Norden, Yariv Lerner, Jeffrey Greenstein, Heidi Jo Markle, Les Walden, and Jonathan Younger all on as producers. Executive producers for The Bricklayer include Boaz Davidson, Avi Lerner, Eric Lindsay, Tana Mobley, Lonnie Ramati, Trevor Short, Seth Needle, and David Nagelberg. Younger, the co-president of Millennium Media, praised Screen Media for the acquisition of the film, saying Screen Media has been an incredible releasing partner, having done a great job steering Till Death and The Outpost to great success. We look forward to the same with The Bricklayer, with many more to come. Screen Media currently has an output deal with Millennium, which previously spawned the upcoming Kate Bosworth. Antonio Banderas led The Enforcer. The dynamic team of iconic director Rennie Harlin and charismatic lead Aaron Eckhart is unmatched, said Screen Media in their own statement. We're grateful and excited to make this intense action thriller our second film in our Millennium partnership. The Bricklayer is still a ways off, aiming to release in theaters and in VOD during the summer of 2023.